consequence, cause you want it so bad. Then I offer a suggestion, maybe you give it a try. Just open up your heart and let the Spirit of the Lord abide. But some would rather have silver and gold. Some would take fame and fortune and told. But ain't none of those things gonna set you free. Gotta have Jesus, He's all that you need. I'd rather have Jesus, rather have Jesus. Yes, I will, yes, I will. So I'd rather have Jesus, rather have Jesus. Yes, I will, oh, yes, I will. He's all I need, He's all I need. Yes, He is, oh, yes, He is. I said I'd rather have Jesus, rather have Jesus. Yes, I will, oh, yes, I will. Listen to this. How many of you feel like the feel? I ain't pointing no finger, I'm just trying to keep it real. You spend all of your money trying to please your friends, but ain't none of those things are gonna matter in the end. I bet some of y'all rather have silver and gold. I bet some of y'all would take fame and fortune.
Especially with the day and the technology that's out there today. So a lot of these slaves ran away and they mixed in with us. Well, now at first we would get them land and let them into our tribe, into our system of government, and teach them our way, teach them how we do things. But we didn't so much mix our blood with them, especially the so-called white ones. We let them bred in among themselves. It was some mixing, but because they men mixed in more with our women than it was our men mixing in with their women. Because most of those who came enslaved, most of them was a bunch of men. And it was even most of the slave owners were a bunch of men. Most of them ships had a bunch of men on them. And so we didn't mix our blood with them as much, although we let them into our tribe, plural. Or it better be yet to say our nation. We just had nation states. We had one nation and we had different states. So when they try to tell you a tribe, they're really talking about a state that go along with the nation, just like you got 50 states in the United States to make up the nation. Well, we had different states and different organizations of people, if you will. So a lot of these runaways start mixing in with us. A lot of times they men would mix in with our women, either because we had so many women. Just like today, black women outnumber black men 10-1. So we had a bunch of women, so, they seemed like they were going to do right. And so they started mixing in with our women and we started changing colors. So, but then what happened was that the slave owners started capturing and kidnapping those children. And they would teach those children the English, the Spanish, or whatever the slave master was. And they would give them children that religion, whichever the slave master was. Whether they was Islamic, because folks over here that did the Islam, they brought the Islam over here and tried to enslave the people. Just like they brought the Christianity over here and tried to enslave the people. Now I know some brothers out there that's into the Islam gonna get a little mad and a little pissed off with this. But they just gonna get mad and they just gonna get pissed off. Cause do right know what he talking about. And he gonna bust their bubble on what the Ali man did to the moles. Cause they think they know, but they really don't know. They just think they know. That's why they run around here with their head cut off like chicken, trying to get their little crap together, but it ain't gonna work. And then you get to filling out that faulty ass paperwork that they got you to knowing, you're gonna find yourself locked up. They ain't gonna mess with most of the leaders, cause most of the leaders FBI agent anyway. You can take it or let it alone. You know, but ain't but a certain group of people gonna go over and sign that anyway. They already know that they moles. So they gonna go over there and sign their name on the road. Told y'all, Santa Claus is coming to time. He making a list. He checking it twice. He gonna find out who's naughty and who's nice. But anyhow, so they started kidnapping the children for two purposes. One was to teach them their ways and make spies out of them. And one was to learn our language because those children knew our language. Because they grew up among us. But being by our women went to mixing in with the men. Because some of the men were dark skinned, they were moles. Because they were moles who brought other moles here and slaves. They were also considered white slaves. Because the moles were considered to be white to the law of the European. Because European became a word that means foreigner. It didn't just mean somebody from Europe. It meant foreigner. Because you had moles from North Africa coming here. You had folks from India, from China. All these were slave owners. They were pirates. And the Moors ain't never been there but some pirates. But anyhow, as they went to kidnapping these children, and after the children became bilingual, meaning they knew our language, and then they knew the European language. And now here a word Do-Right want y'all to look up and look into. It's called mulatto. See, we've been thinking that mulatto meant somebody who got a black father and skin tone and a white mother, or vice versa, a white daddy and a black mother, skin tone wise. That ain't so. Black and white, Do-Right brought that out in one of his videos. He read out the book. He think the book was some book about the Rhode Island Society. But you have to go back to the video and get that book. And you can get that brother free book. You can get off Google. So, in 1775, according to that book, black and white had nothing to do with a skin tone. It was a status in society. It had nothing to do with skin tone. Because you had black folk who were white to the law. Meaning they had standing, and to prove their point, North Carolina, but we know at today North Carolina and South Carolina, those were a Moorish colony. The Moors ruled it. How we know that? In the 1800s, before they got kicked out of government, the Moors had a whole bunch of black senators and representatives in the Congress from the South and North Carolina. These were Moorish colonies. And the Moors were the slave owners. They were dark-skinned people. Some of them. Because Moors don't necessarily mean black. In one term of the word, it means dark-skinned. The word became known to mean dark-skinned. But the Moors is talking about really a nation of people, or what they call Barbary people. Those people that came and stayed around the Mediterranean Sea. Those were really your Moors. Regardless of what their skin tone was, they was Moors. They was a mixed confederation of people. And so you had a lot of what they call the black Moors, who were slave owners too, especially in the South Carolina and the North Carolina, because those were slaves, those were Moorish colonies. So the mulatto, we're talking about a man who was considered to be white to their law, or a woman, mostly men, because they ain't bringing a bunch of women over here with them. That's why you get all that homosexuality among so-called rich folk. Folk with money. You look around today, most folk that gay got money. Ain't no coincidence. You know, things don't just happen like that. So the ancestor said, ain't no coincidence. But so the mulatto meant one who had one parent who was white to the law, and one parent who was black to the law. Meaning black in law meaning you ain't have no standing. You couldn't speak. You couldn't testify. You could only be charged. Kind of like how they do it today. If you're black, because that thing been swapped around, so you're dark skinned. If you got a darker hue, you said to be black, you ain't got much standing in the courtroom now. They don't let you testify against rich folk. You know, even in your little local town, the rich folk always get off. You know, they get a DUI and they get swept on the road. You get a damn DUI and you got to pay half your goddamn house rent for the next 40 damn years. They're trying to get a damn job because you got a DUI. But the rich folk, it don't happen like that for the rich folk. So we're going to say rich folk is white folk for the sake of argument. For the sake of argument, we're going to say now that the rich folk are the white folk, folk with money. Those who got stocks and bonds and, you know, the business leaders, your preachers, your black lawyers, and we're going to say they white folk for the sake of argument. And so if do-right mixed in with one of them and got a baby, regardless of skin color, that child was said to be mulatto. Not necessarily on the skin tone, but on the status side, that child was said to be a mulatto. Now, when you look at the history of the mulatto throughout history, the mulatto had always sided with the ruling father. So whichever father was ruling, that's who they sided with. Because they could play both sides to the middle. They became the buffer. And so after years of mixing in, a lot of the slaves that ran away, joined our tribe, they fought with us. They died with us. A lot of them did. But a lot of them started acting like spies. Then we started killing off a bunch of them. Because we actually kicked the Mo out of our tribe. The blacker Mo. We kicked all them out of our tribe. Because we couldn't trust them. Because someone was acting as spies. And we didn't know who was who. So we kicked all them out the tribe. All the dark-skinned ones. We could tell the light ones. We could about tell the lighter hue ones a little better. But the dark ones, they looked just like us in the southeast. They looked like the Yamasee Indian. They looked like the Oconee Indian. They looked like the Eufaula Indian. All these were dark-skinned people. They look just like the Choctaw, the Chickasaw. They were dark-skinned people. Keep telling y'all, it was blacker Moors who got off them boats with Columbus and them first. They knew what they were doing. They were pirates. That's how the Moors ever really been by. All of them. Don't care what color their skin is. Because all of them, regardless of what color their skin is, they got some kind of little secret teaching. The Masonic got a secret teaching. The Moorish Scientific got a secret teaching. The Tenement Society got a secret teaching. They got some type of little secret organization where they recruit one another and they watch one another. They know one another close and they breed in among one another. But we started kicking out what is known as the blacker Moor. Because they started becoming, they looked just like us. And they started coming in and acting like tribes. They became like spies. And they would come in and spy out the leaders. Like one would come in like they ran away. And like they're a straggler and they ran away looking to be took in to our tribe. And then they would spot out the thing. They were acting like missionaries. That's what they were. They come in with their little Quran or with their Bible or whatever their particular religion was. Because all Moors were not under Islam. You had Moors who were Christian. You had Moors who had Judaism. You had Moors who were Buddhist. You had Moors who were Hindu, who did the Hindu religion. But they would always come in. They would always come in with their book and try to convert us to their religion. And they would come in and start spying us out. And so we started killing them. And we put out all of the blacker Moors. We put all of them out of our tribe. Because if you know what you're looking at, you can tell the difference between a native and a Moor. I'm on the dark-skinned one. Because I said, all Moors ain't dark-skinned. Some of them look like what we call white or Caucasian. If you don't know what you're looking at, you won't know them apart. And see, Do-Right got on his they live glasses. He put his glasses on, and he see them damn Moors. Goddamn bunch of black devils. We see y'all ass. But they get mad when you point them out. But Do-Right don't care. Do-Right a soldier. He a real soldier. And he fighting this war. And this war about to get hot, but it's a war of words right now, see? It's a war of words. And Do-Right putting these words out here, chopping a lot of them down, and they don't know which way to go, which way to turn. Because they said the Do-Righters waking up now. Because see, my people, we remember when them Moors got off them boats. They kind of were dark-skinned like us, but they're a different type of dark-skinned. They don't try to mix in with us to blend in, but you still can tell them if you know what you're looking at. Y'all keep on listening to Do-Right. Do-Right gonna point them out for you so you can know them one by one. Y'all gonna be singing boom, shack'em, lack'em. Jesus coming back and about to swack 'em. And these young niggas gonna stack 'em. Anyhow, so we started kicking the blacker Moor out the tribe because we couldn't trust him.